Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is just a quick little video touching on the brand new Saw 10 trailer. I can't believe we are up to the 10th installment in the franchise. It is crazy to think all those years ago, I think it was 2003 when the first Saw film came out. I was like a year late to the party scene because I was still in high school. I was quite young, and when I saw it, it just blew my mind. I equate it to seeing either the first Nightmare on Elm Street or like the first Exorcist film back in the early 70s and then the first Elm Street film back in 1984. It was definitely a game changer for the horror genre. That horror body gore element and also bordering on like a snuff film. It was just crazy, and it like the color had drained from my face when I saw the first Saw film. And it's cool, like with humble beginnings with two Aussie filmmakers, that being James Wan and Lee Winnell, and they've gone on to have thriving careers. I equate the franchise for Saw to the franchise of A Nightmare on Elm Street. It got very bombastic and sort of lost its way, and then when Spiral came out, even though it's kind of like an anthology of Saw, I dug it. I know it cops a lot of shit. I actually really dug it. The inclusion of Chris Rock was cool. There were some Chris Rock mannerisms in there, and there were other times where he didn't seem like he was portraying stereotypical Chris Rock. But the biggest draw card with these films are the traps. Like going back to the OG with the reverse bear trap. Like that's the one that started it all. And in the case of Saw 10, looking at this trailer, they've just upped the ante once again. Not only do we have the trailer, we also have a poster which just looks horrifying with those two pipes connected to that poor person's eyes. God only knows what is going to be fed into their eyes, or I'm just assuming acid at this point. So for Saw 10, it takes place between Saw 1, Saw 2. We see John Kramer, who travels to Mexico for a risky and experimental procedure in the hopes of a miracle cure for his cancer, only to discover the entire operation is essentially a scam to defraud the most vulnerable. And of course, he's got to get his revenge. And that's basically the premise of this film. And we see him kidnap all of the people that supposedly operated on him. Obviously, it was a scam. And we see them rigged up to all of these devices. Now, the vibes I got from this trailer, it feels a lot more focused. And it feels a lot more simpler, if that makes sense. Again, the previous films just got very bombastic. The story just got very convoluted. But I feel this one just seems a bit more intimate. Like I said, a bit more focused. And of course, it's just so good to see Tobin Bell back as John Kramer. And we got a cheeky glimpse of Billy the Puppet with the song All I Need Is the Air That I Breathe Over It. Pretty good combo. There's one guy that's using a trap where he has to remove part of his scalp and put it on a scale to open up the key. And then right at the very end, we get a cheeky glimpse of Amanda from the previous Saw film. So again, it's going back to its roots. It's taking place between the events of Saw 1 and Saw 2. Even though Saw 2 originally wasn't meant to be a Saw film, they had the basic story, and because the first Saw was so successful, they just slapped the Saw 2 title on it, and that was that. It actually turned out pretty good. I do not mind the second one. I really dig the first one and the third one. So yeah guys, overall, I'm pretty pumped for this one. I haven't touched on a Saw film on this channel, obviously, but on my previous channel as well in the past when I've talked about films. So this is going to be cool. This is going to be a first for the channel. Again, I can't believe we're already up to the 10th installment. Like I said, I really dug Spiral. It's not a perfect Saw film, but I think it just tried to do something a bit different, and I appreciated that. And of course, it just the traps. The traps are always the biggest draw card with these films. And the fact that this is taking place between Saw 1, Saw 2, they're kind of going back to its roots. And I just hope it's more simple and just a lot more focused. But apart from that, this trailer's got me jonesing. With that being said, drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. And what is your favorite Saw film in the franchise? Definitely the OG for me, but coming in next, I'd say number 3. I think also because the hype around 3 at the time, like because it was so gory and so graphic, it was banned in certain parts of Australia for a while, and then when I finally saw it with my mates, I remember feeling sick watching it. I think also because it had been hyped up as like the goriest film ever, but you can't go wrong with the OG film. It's just so good. I love you guts, and I'll catch you in the next one.